Today you're going to make an enlargement and a reduction of a figure. This is part of our exploration of scale factor. First thing I want you to do is make sure you add in these labels. This is original. This is enlargement right here. You're going to write enlargement down and then reduction right here. So you're going to be always making a scale figure of this original robot. In order to do that, we first need to make a ratio table. To make our ratio table, we're going to set up a table and we're always going to write original on the bottom. Now this time we are doing an enlargement, so I'm going to write my enlargement here. You could also write new figure, but I like remembering what it is that we are working on. So then I'm just going to take a look and see which is a good place to start. And I think a good place to start is probably going to be right here, these legs. So in my original figure, I have 3 units make up one of those legs. And I'm just going to double check because it says right here, I'm going to look right here and it's got 1, 2, 3. Now, if I read my instructions, it says that the scale factor is 1.5. That means it's going to be 1.5 times larger. Please do not use your calculators for this. You can figure out what is 1.5 of 3. And I might think to myself, okay, well, half of 3 is 1.5. And 1 of 3 is 3. So I'm just going to add those together. 3 plus 1.5 is 4.5. So I'm just going to start adding in some of my numbers. So that's 4.5. And maybe I'll add another thing. So I'm going to double this. Maybe I'll need, let's see here, I'm going to look for another spot just so I can get some numbers going in. And I want you to do the same thing. I'm going to look at up the leg. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So then I might think to myself, okay, well, I've got a spot of 8. 1.5 of 8, well, 1.5 of 8. 1 of 8 means 8 times 1, that's just 8. Half of 8 is 4, so I'm going to add 4. And so that means I've got 12 as my new scale factor. So I want to remember that every time I'm multiplying up here by 1.5. Here is 1.5. And I'm going to keep adding in values, and you should do the same. Now is when you want to get your straight edge and begin drawing your robot. So you're just going to do one piece at a time as an enlargement. And because this guy, my original guy, is pretty close to the bottom, is where his leg starts, I'm going to do the same thing. So I need to draw a leg that is, instead of 3 wide, 4.5. So I'm going to start just right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like it's about 4.5. I zoomed in here a little bit so you could see a little bit better. So there was 4.5. And that means I need another leg piece that's also another 4.5 because this was 3 and my scale factor is 1.5. So that means I need to add in another 4.5. So I'm just going to do that right next to them. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. And you should be using a straight edge when you do this. I don't have one right now, and I'm drawing on a computer, which is more difficult. Okay, my next amount was I had 8, so I'm using I need to go 12 up the side of his legs. So I'm going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I'm going to double check and make sure I did that right with my counter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, I think I had too many, so I'm going to erase. You should do the exact same thing. As we go along through here, you're going to want to make sure that any errors you make, you do in pencil, and you erase as we go along. And that's where you'll start drawing your legs to your robot. You're going to continue on, and for every piece that you see, you want to make it 1.5 times larger. If you feel successful at this, your enlargement should look exactly like your original, just bigger. If you succeed, then go ahead and do a reduction. You'll want to do a new ratio table, where this time your scale factor is 0.5. So every piece will be a half the size of the original. Good luck, and I will see you later.